Welcome back to Halt and Call for Backup. I'm Jim McLintock. That's Mike Koch over there, coast to coast. Halt and Call for Backup. Mike, I want to talk to you about something today, and it's about the increase in clients that I have whose boyfriends or girlfriends or spouses are beginning to struggle with alcohol. Just the past week, I have worked with 5 different clients who are actually emergency responders. They're in various points in their careers as emergency responders. One is a paramedic going through training. That's intense enough as it is. Another is law enforcement professional. Another is a firefighter. And there's just a couple more. That's all I need to say. I want to paint the picture. See what you feel about this. Client number 1, first session with me, says, my spouse, I want to be very careful on protecting as much identity as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guarantee you this podcast is going to be used by my clients for their boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses to listen to. Because they're sick and tired of your crap. Not your crap, Mike.
Me?
The crap that they're going through in these relationships. The immaturity that's coming out because their boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife is struggling with stress, is struggling with trauma, are in careers in the military as an example, and they just witnessed something at home. They're not overseas, they're not at war, they're at home, they're at their base, something happened, somebody died, and so what's their excuse, Mike? Give me the bottle of frickin' whiskey. Give me the bottle of vodka so I can start hiding my breath. And when the spouses ask, hey, are you okay? Don't bother me. The frick is that? Don't bother me. When in your relationship did you make the decision to be the lone wolf and not be a team player and not have your mate help you in this season? What is going on with your immaturity? I'm calling some people out, Mike.
Good.
Calling them out. And this is with love, but it's going to be direct. So brace for impact. And if you don't like what I have to say, turn the damn thing off. Because your addiction will get worse. I guarantee it. Your addiction will get worse. Your depression will get worse. Your anxiety will get worse. Your panic attacks will get worse. Your sleep disturbances will get worse. And you'll lean on alcohol more and more and more, and everything is spinning out of control, and you think you can handle it. Bullshit. I've never met anybody that could handle it. And I've been doing this since 2000 and whatever. And so I've had enough. I've had enough of the immaturity. I've had enough of the arrested development. I've got these 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old grown-ass people who are going to start drinking alcohol in order to cope. That may have worked in the Old West. That may have worked on all the Westerns and the movies that we see. It doesn't work in reality. So what's going on? I thought today's podcast could be used by the boyfriends, girlfriends, spouses, family members who have somebody who is struggling with alcohol, for example. It could be drugs. Let's pick on alcohol today. And what's the common thing they say? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. What's your greatest fear? My greatest fear is losing them. My greatest fear is things getting worse. My greatest fear is them breaking up with me. My greatest fear is the relationship ends. My greatest fear is I get a divorce. My greatest fear is I'm not going to have kids with this person. And that's what I want. That's what I got married for. That's why I'm in this relationship for. So I'm hoping we might make a podcast today, Mike, where The people that, and they know who they are, that have reached out to me. And Mike, I know you have people like this too. Anybody who's working as a counselor in addiction and recovery and treatment has people like this that come to us and say, I don't know what to do. I know what to do. I'll tell you what I do. I got a pretty short fuse on stuff like this. And it's leaning into that pain that's very, very difficult. Listeners, this is your opportunity. If you're starting to struggle with alcohol, this is your opportunity to turn it around right here, right now on HALT and Call for Backup.
You know, we use alcohol, we use things to escape what we fear to face, maybe. Relationships, struggles. Many times it starts a long time ago. It doesn't just happen, I'm going to pick up a bottle and start drinking it. It happens. It happens in relationships. It happens in life. A lot of times, though, we lean on alcohol to get through those moments, and it's normals. It's normalized at an early age. A lot of us use that, especially if we're going in the military, especially if we're going into law enforcement or any first responder related fields. It's acceptable, and it's almost required that you drink. And in the old days, like Jim said, in the Old West, yeah, we have a couple shots and get through the situation, but it's becoming a problem. And our loved ones are noticing that, hey, this is a problem for me. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't know what to do. And you don't seem to think it's a problem at all and you can handle it. You can't handle it. And you can try all you want. But to the ones that live with you and love you, related to you, married to you, they've had enough. And if they listen, they can understand that they might need to look into codependency issues. They might need to study what boundaries are. And they need to start working their own program of recovery. Because you have the tools right in front of you. And if you choose not to use them, that's up to you. They'll be here for you.
Generally speaking, what we find in the therapy chair when we have a client, a spouse, a boyfriend, girlfriend of somebody who's struggling with their addictions, and I'm picking on alcohol today because that was the common thing that happened this past week. The fear that the loved one is going through, not the person that's drinking, but the other person, the fear is always tangled in the relationship coming to an end, anger, isolation, death, DUIs, arrests, losing a job. And it's always tangled up with the heartstrings, which it should be. We suddenly are ambushed by the person who is responding to whatever they're responding to, and they decide to start drinking, or it's been an ongoing problem that you knew about and you didn't do anything about it. You chose not to do anything about it, chose not to talk about it, or too scared to talk about it. Or the person masked it pretty darn well and hid it. All right, it's out in the open now. I use the one example. Husband comes home, got a bunch of bottles of vodka, starts drinking. What time's he drinking? Well, he started drinking in the evening time, knocking about a couple of cocktails after dinner. And now he's drinking at noon and on his days off. And so the spouse asks, hey, let's talk about this. Don't bother me. I'm dealing with the way I'm dealing with it. All right. So they call me up, right? They call the therapist. What do I do?
Sure.
I don't know. What do you do? What do you want to do? Well, I'd like someone else to do the heavy lifting here. Well, good luck with that. I'll see if I can find somebody. I'm looking. Nobody wants to go there. That's not clinically appropriate. I'm not the hitman. I'm not the hitman here. Maybe I should go into a business. Maybe I'll start working on an app where I will call the person who's using alcohol and just tell them the way it is. Hey, this is Jim McLintock. Your spouse is too chicken shit to tell you this for good reason, so I'm going to tell you the way it is.
Yeah. Okay, I don't like this. I'm willing to put up with it for whatever reason. The children, the family, the stigma, the people judging us, or we think that they're judging us about the relationship. So much gets hidden behind closed doors until we are so frustrated. The pain is so great that all we want to do is run away from it all, but we feel like we're stuck in it. And we might be unwilling to get help ourselves. We might be unwilling to call Jim or call a therapist or go into their office and talk to them about what's going on, because I don't have these tools. Even though I have full internet access, I have all this information at my fingertips. If I choose to look at it, it's right there in front of us. How do I implement it? I need a guide. I need a trainer. Look at a therapist as your personal trainer, right? Not to do the work for you, to guide you to do your own work. It's hard. It's tough, but it is so rewarding. And if you're used to Uber Eats, if you're used to Amazon and ordering everything online and not going to stores and isolating yourself into your house and everything's done for you, even the mail's dropped off to you, you're not doing things for yourself. You're shuttering away your life, and it's time to stand up and do something about it and stop worrying so much about the other people in your life. Yes, you love them. It's your family member, it's your child, it's your husband, it's your mom, it's your dad, it's your best friend, it's one of your peers, it's someone you just met. You love them, you're a loving person, you're very empathetic and sympathetic and compassionate towards others in your life. It's time to take a step back and turn it onto yourself. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So here I am, here we are getting in the face of these people that are struggling. And like we've said before, problems in life, experiences in life, the emotions of life, the roller coaster of life, the ups and downs, the ins, the outs, the backwards, the forwards, the sideways, the crash and burns, the losses. They give us permission to feel every ounce of all of those things, because that's welcome to the planet time. Welcome to the planet. I'm sorry that you're going through it. People are sorry that I'm going through it. But it does not give me permission to drink it away. It does not give me permission to drug it away. It doesn't give me permission to hurt myself or hurt anybody else. It doesn't give me permission to lose my job. It doesn't give me permission to hide away forever. It gives me permission to slow it down, to halt, to take a step back and reanalyze everything, to process the process of the process, what's going on, and then relaunch yourself in a healthy way. Are you hearing me out there? I don't give you permission to start drinking. No one's giving you permission. You're giving yourself permission. And it's like that one really good public speaker that's out there, and I can't think of his name right now, Dr. Eric. Used to be a football player. He's a really great positive role model for folks. And he says, you owe you. I'll talk about me. I'll use me as the example. Jim, what's up? You owe you. What do you mean? You owe you an explanation. You owe you. What are you doing? Well, I thought I'd start drinking. Well, why are you starting drinking? Because it hurts. Well, okay, but you owe you an explanation for that. Why are you allowing alcohol or drugs to have a voice in your life right now? I'm sorry that you're hurting, but tighten your big boy belt. Tighten your big girl belt and start leaning into this thing. You know, when you folks are in relationships, it's supposed to be safe harbor for each other. It's supposed to be, in a perfect world, it's supposed to be two people working as a team. There's no I in team. I don't feel well. I'm going to grab that bottle of vodka. Wait a second. Hold it. Time out. Wait. We didn't talk about this. Screw you. I'm going to go sit in my room and drink myself away. Hold it. No, that's not right. I'm not endorsing that bullshit. So you people that are listening to this, if you have the courage to listen to this, I hope you do have the courage to listen, because this is right between your eyes, and it may not feel like love, but this is love. This is direct. This is real. This is not, oh, how does that make you feel time? What is it? Dan Bongino says, cutesy time is over. This isn't cutesy time. This is life and death. Mike, how many people, you keep a track, how many people have died that you know of in the past year? Let's take 2025 on, Mike. How many people have died that you're aware of?
Probably about six or seven. And, it's out there. It's a progressive illness. It gets worse and never gets better, especially when we're talking about alcohol and drugs. It gets to the dependency part of it where your body needs it. And I look at it as, has anybody ever, I'm sure a lot of us have, like given up sweets for a certain period of time? Like, I'm going to stop putting sugar in my body. You have sugar receptors in your body, just like drug receptors, just like alcohol receptors, okay? And you don't have sugar in there, you have a withdrawal to it. You've become dependent, in a matter of speaking, to that sugar. So you have those severe cravings for ice cream or chocolate or candy or whatever was your thing. And after about 3 or 4 or 5 days, it's not as bad anymore, right? It's not as heavy anymore. You don't think about it constantly and constantly. And then you get better and you're thinking like, well, I'm losing some weight. I feel really good about myself. Maybe I'll just have a popsicle. Maybe I'll just have some light ice cream. And pretty soon you're at the bottom of a container of ice cream of Haagen-Dazs. So I look at it this way. Going into your room, isolating yourself, drinking yourself into oblivion, passing out, having a relationship with someone that loves you, but they're getting to the end of their rope. I would say to you, you can drink as much as you want, wherever you want it, in your room, but I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to be a part of it. That is my boundary. If you need to do this, and this is going to be your life, I'm done with it. There's no more sorries. There's no more I'll be a better person. There's no more like, just give me another chance. Give me another chance. I'm sorry. We are tired of hearing sorries. Sorry, 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 sorry. Jim, let me talk about the trust bucket. Have I talked about that before?
You have. Let it rip, brother.
Okay. Trust is lost by the bucket full, but gained back by the dropper full. So we've knocked over that trust bucket so many times. It's all over the floor. And we've picked it back up again. And we put those drops in there. And we knock it back over again. The drops in the bucket, look at it as your recovery. Look at it as the positive things that you're doing for your recovery. And you're putting those drops in there. Those drops represent action. Verbalizing, I'm sorry, verbalizing this won't happen again is not action. It's a bunch of bullshit, like Jim says. Your loved ones want to see action. They want to see you do something. And if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You're a grown-ass adult. You can do whatever you want to do. I love you, but I'm not going to be with you if you continue doing what you're doing. So I need to set my own personal boundaries. Me personally, I am in recovery, and I have people that in my life that drink, but if it gets to a point where I'm around someone that's drinking too much, I leave. I have an exit plan. I have my own personal boundaries with that. It's just because I can't communicate with someone that's been under the influence of something. There's no way to communicate with that person. So set those boundaries and move forward. And hopefully they'll start putting those drops back in the bucket, and you can notice it when they do. But it has to come from them. You can't force anybody into treatment. You can force them. You can say, I'm leaving if you don't go to treatment. And guess what? Yeah, they might go to treatment like this with their hands crossed. Yeah, I'm in treatment. Yeah, my bitch wife sent me here. Yeah, my employment sent me here. I'm going to lose my job. I got a DUI, my third one. But I ain't got a problem with alcohol. I'm a perfect driver. Bunch of bullshit. I hear it all the time. I really do. I just let it go. I give them information. I give them suggestions. I show them the road, like we all show them the road. And it's up to them to get in the car and drive it. Because you know what? Here's the keys. You know how to drive a car, right? Then get in there and drive it if you want. If you don't, let it sit there and park. I'm not going to get in there and put you in the passenger seat and drive you around. When I give my number out to family members or friends or peer support, they know what to do. I tell them, here, give my number out, but have them call me. I don't want you to do a three-way conversation on the phone. You give them my number. When they need help, have them give me a call, and I'll be there for them. You have to do the work to get out of it.
Mike, there's that song, I See a Bad Moon Horizon. And I've been seeing this bad moon horizon more recently than I've ever seen it before. And it has to do with the emergency responders who are on their days off, on their vacations, getting into the party drugs, getting into the hallucinogens, going out to the different concerts that are out there, outdoor concerts, and going down that road. The increase in alcohol and drugs, the combination of vaping and the drugs that they're using. And I have had this serious trend going up, this uptick in people struggling with increased anxiety and increased depression, and actually derealization, depersonalization, the paranoia kicking in. Back in our day, the cannabis that was being used was not as strong as the cannabis of today. And things have changed, sadly, with these with the availability and the ease of use of these drugs, and giving you as an emergency responder, giving yourself permission to go party. There's a bad moon horizon. This will explode. And you know what I'm talking about. And you people listen know exactly what I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. You know what agencies I'm talking. I encourage you all to rethink your positions on partying. I encourage you all to take a step back and reload and relaunch in a whole new direction. And I even encourage some people out there, the paramedic career, the firefighter career, the law enforcement career, the dispatch career, it's not for you. It is not for you. You're not coping with the world very well. And I want to encourage you to go get a different job where you don't have to worry about holding the public trust, where you don't have to worry about being under the influence. I think there's a lot of people out there that should find a new job.
Wouldn't they call it, Jim, imposter syndrome? When you're doing a job, but you're actually doing the deed that you're busting other people for or judging other people for?
You know, I know. Well, I've heard imposter syndrome is, where you're doing the job, but you don't think you know how to do the job, and so you're trying to fake it till you make it, right?
So I'm doing a job, and I know that I'm not capable of doing this job, or okay, like you were saying, I am drinking, I am doing party drugs, right? I'm in my 20s or my 30s or 40s, Jesus, right? I have this career that pays really good money, has really good benefits. I see a lot of things. I see a lot of action. I see a lot of drama. I see a lot of blood. I see a lot of death. And I deal with that. I deserve to escape a little bit and have fun and party. Okay, so when that comes crashing down around you, what are you going to do? You're going to sober up, give it a couple days, and start over again? Likely. Me telling you that you need to get help is not going to work. You're not going to do it. You have to wait till you're ready to do it. And it's okay. You're going to lose a lot. You're going to lose a lot. And unfortunately, before we're ready to get recovery, before we're ready to get sober, before we're ready to see what other people have been telling us for so many years that we need help, we're in the pre-contemplation stage. Maybe contemplation, maybe we know we have some problems, but we have that control. We can deal with it. We're the first responder. We're the business person. We can get through this. I've done a lot of hard things in my life. Nothing's ever going to get over on me. But I'm now I'm a dependent on it. I'm dependent on this stuff. If you weren't dependent on it, you wouldn't have to do it. If you would implement some kind of coping tools that doesn't get you high like drinking or drugs does, you will have a better life and you'll feel better about yourself, but it's getting over that. Like when you give up a substance, let's say alcoholism, you've been drinking for a while. Rarely does someone just all of a sudden pick up at 45 years old, although I know a few people that did, and then they became severe alcoholics, people that really could not stop drinking, drunks. And, you get to this point where you don't have a choice anymore. Your mind tells you, your body tells you that you need this substance in your body. And it's like having a relationship with another person. It's a special relationship, almost like you're cheating on people in your lives, that to let this person go, to let this thing go, to let this alcohol go is like saying to stop breathing. Why don't you just stop breathing, Jim? No, I need to breathe. I need to drink. Okay. Like I said before, then if you need to drink that bad and you're unwilling to even call this number or to research it, or you don't think you have a big enough problem, or for several years, you've been taking advantage of me and I've been loving you and I don't want to love you to death and I don't want to see you die in your disease. So this is my boundary. I'm now seeing a therapist and I'm working on boundaries and codependency. And here's my assignment. You can do whatever you want to do, but if you continue doing what you're doing, you're going to have to do it alone. And act on it. Because a boundary without consequences, enforced consequences, is just a line in the sand.
And, that's an interesting visual, the line in the sand. All right, I stepped over the line. Now what? Well, I have one back here now.
Mm-hmm.
I step over that one. Now what? Well, I got one back here now. Enough. I will back up no further. I will back up no further.
It is so interesting, Jim. And I like how you said that too, because we keep moving the line back until we're backed up into a corner. And then that's when we react, right? That's when we said, I had enough, and boom, I'm done. I'm out of here. Laters, right? You had to back me up into the corner, and now it's over with. There's no wiggle room now. I kept backing up, and now I found out that there's no more to back up, right? There's no freaking door behind me. I'm in the corner. You pushed me to this part, and actually, you know what? It's my responsibility too. It's my fault because I let you push me. I let you get me to that point. I love you, but I need to say goodbye. For me, you know what? I've seen in recovery, I've seen that happen. I've seen people get help maybe several times, come back, or maybe for the first time, and they have a scenario somewhat like that. And you know what I tell them? I tell them, put your recovery number one. If you're dealing with alcohol issues, no one can ever take your sobriety away from you. Own it. Cherish it. Honor it. Put those drops in the bucket, no matter how silly you might think it sounds. Put those drops in the bucket. But put your recovery number one. Being intelligently selfish, right? Put you number one.